2011. What technology stories await us this year? That was the subject of our roundtable discussion earlier today at IT World Canada. And we talked about a number of predictions, but there was one that I want to highlight today with Rafael Ruffalo from Computerworld. We disagreed about something in the mobile space, and it was Rafael's prediction, so I'll let you start.
Yeah, Brian, you took great offense to the to prediction.
Personal offense, I think.
Basically, what it was a year from now, we're going to look back and deem Microsoft's Windows Phone 7 OS and the launch of it a failure. I think, you know, a lot of people in the media have, other tech blogs, have been quite impressed with the 1.5 million shipments that the Windows Phone 7 devices have had thus far. But you know, it really pales to comparison to what Android has already put up. 300,000 every day Android phones are being activated. I think the iPhone number is somewhere in 250,000. I'm not sure about RIM, but we know they're dominant in the business space still. So I don't know where they're going with this yet. I know there's a lot of carryover with disappointment from the Windows Mobile 6 devices in the consumer space, and I'm not sure enterprises are that hungry to see these devices. I know they're embracing Android already as well, so I just don't really know where it fits in.
I've got to say, I think you're wrong. It's clear to me that Microsoft really cares about getting into the mobile space. With Windows Phone 7, they've invested millions into advertising and marketing it. And look at all the hardware vendors they've got buying into it. HTC is on board, Samsung is on board. These are heavy hitters in the mobile space, and one of the big reasons that Android is a success right now. So you can't compare the numbers of handsets they're selling in their first quarter on the market to established brands like Android and iPhone. You've got to compare it to when did the iPhone first come out, and when you do that, you actually see that the sales numbers are pretty good. In a year, Microsoft, there's no way they're going to just give up and walk away on the mobile space.
I don't think they're going to give up and walk away, but I'm just saying a year from now, they're going to probably have to do some retooling to what they've done. And, you know, look at Android. They really put out the playbook, to steal a term from RIM. It's put out the playbook for how to really explode in adoption with a mobile OS. And take Motorola, for example. They're a vendor that today have changed their logo. If you go look at their logo, they split up. They've split up into two divisions. One of them is going to be called now Motorola Mobility, and they've made it almost look like the Droid logo. And another thing, you know, with the apps, I mean, Microsoft has an uphill battle still. I mean, they only have a couple thousand apps. I don't expect them to have 100,000 apps yet. But I mean, they don't even have Angry Birds.
Yeah, this whole thing about the apps is totally overblown. How many apps do you really need? Do you need 1 million apps in your app store? No, you need Angry Birds is important to have. You need your office tools. You need, what, a calculator app. There's only a certain number of apps that you really need, and Windows Marketplace has a good start, even though I agree that it needs to be redesigned, and they have some catch-up to do with iOS and Android. That's the same position Android was in not so long ago, and look where they are now. Nobody talks about how they pale in comparison to iPhone anymore.
Yep, you know, I think it's an uphill battle, and I would say the same sort of things about HP when they come out with their Palm stuff. It's going to be an uphill battle. I don't know that there's room for another major platform. I mean, look at soft drinks. We got Coke and Pepsi. Look at any industry. You know, it gets to the point where there's too much, and I think that we're at that point. I think there's those three. I know in Europe, Nokia's quite big as well, but I think Microsoft maybe just missed their chance.
Well, only time can tell, and we'll see what happens at the end of 2011 where Windows Phone 7 stands. So thanks again for joining me, Raf.
Sure, no problem.
For ITBusiness.ca, I'm Brian Jackson.